Hey everybody, welcome back to the Financially Lit Podcast. Today I'm going to speak about what the iCovest Academy is, why it exists in the first place, and why you should get in there and learn some things about the jurisdiction that's available. Let's get into it. So first things first, why does the Academy even exist? Well, most people aren't aware that the commercial jurisdiction has a parallel jurisdiction that's hiding in plain sight that you can actually operate in, and there's specific rules that govern that jurisdiction, separate from the rules that govern the commercial jurisdiction. For example, the IRS or the SEC that squarely govern anything that happens in these commercially regulated terms or taxable events, etc., etc. When you learn to operate outside of this jurisdiction, in a trust, for example, an FBO like ours, a sovereign ecclesiastical faith-based organization type of a trust, we're actually mandatorily accepted from the tax code. Anything that goes into a vehicle like this is qualified capital. It's actually mandatorily tax accepted outside of the jurisdiction of the IRS or the purview of the SEC. And that's because we don't invest over here. We don't have any investments. We actually have co-vestments. We cooperatively vest together in creative association to be able to acquire an asset that cash flows in some way, shape, or form. And this is completely lawful and legal, but I know I'm saying a mouthful right now, and most people don't understand what it is that I'm getting at. That's essentially why the Academy was born. The Academy was born to teach people, and we have classes. We take from freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and doctorate level education on financial literacy. We do this to teach you jurisdictional finance so that you have the ability to know what the wealthy know, so that you have an option to direct your assets and your wealth accordingly based on your goals or your particular risk tolerance or whatever it is that you have financially in front of you right now. We can help you solve these kind of issues so that we can get you to where you need to go financially. With all that being said, there's a lot of information here, and there's a lot of information that has been kept from you systemically on purpose. And this is one of the reasons why the wealth gap is so high, why the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer, and this gap keeps increasing. Well, one of the major principles as to why this is happening is because the wealthy understand they want to control everything, yet own nothing. Have you heard that before? Why do they do that? That's because they're trying to reduce their taxable liability or their liability in general. If they can put their assets in a trust, for example, where the trust is the owner and the trust assigns them as the beneficiary, they then get to use that asset or that thing, whatever's in trust, in however they would like to benefit from it, but they're not the technical owner of it. So when the tax man comes around and says, hey, do you own any of these cash flowing assets or any of these things that require taxes on those? They can say, no, we don't. We do not pay taxes on these events because the trust owns those, and the trust is outside of your purview for these taxable events. Conceptually, I'm hoping you can follow what I'm saying, because what we're trying to do is show people that there's another way. There is a light at the end of the tunnel if you're trying to break through financially, or if you're trying to become an entrepreneur, or in any way, shape, or form, stop trading time for dollars to free yourself. If you're looking to create generational wealth, if you're looking to syndicate assets together, we can show you how to do that lawfully and legally. I'm not sure if you're aware, but if you were to try to syndicate real estate in a commercial trust, you'd have to be an accredited investor to do that. That means you have to make $250,000 in your tax returns 2 years in a row, if you're single. If you're married, it's $350,000, 2 years in a row. Or you can have $1 million in assets. Either of those things, if you can prove either of those, you can apply for accredited investor status. And then you can start syndicating real estate in a commercial real estate investment trust. Well, what does that sound like? Most people can't do that. That's the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. The wealth gap's increasing because of rules just like that in the commercial jurisdiction. However, when you learn about this trust and this jurisdiction that exists over here, you have the ability to syndicate wealth, real estate, syndicate an asset like real estate in a trust, this type of a trust, a sovereign ecclesiastical trust, it's an FBO, and we don't have to be accredited investors to do this. Me, you, all of our friends, the only thing that we have to have is an iCovesting account, an IVA account, and it's only 21 ounces of silver co-vested to open that account, to fund it. You have 21 ounces sitting there. Once you have that, you're in the game. You can put as much silver as you would like to or gold into this type of a position and then squish it together with the rest of us that are trying to leverage that position and acquire an asset that cash flows for the whole group. We can teach you exactly how these things work, the ins and outs of why you would want to do this, how to ethically leverage other people's money in a syndication, why it's qualified capital, how you get your royalty rewards remitted back to you so that you can actually do something with the new cash flow that you've created in your life. These are plenty of strategies. There's tons of things that we can discuss, and it's going to be case by case depending on your goals and your risk tolerance. So with that being said, this is supposed to be just a quick overview video about what the Academy is doing and why it's teaching you what it's teaching you. But get in my inbox. Let's do a one-on-one. You can email nick@icovestcapital.com or n.gonzalez@icovest.life. Either one of those come to me and we can sit down, we can do a one-on-one. I can do a capital needs analysis for you, or I can just get you scheduled into our academy so you can begin learning this stuff on your own. With that being said, guys, I love you. Have a wonderful day and let's win together.